is this unhealthy for him?
He liked to do it, or he was willing to do it?
No, he liked to do it. I'd tell him I was on the reg, and he'd say, "Oh, come on over, that tasty, blah, blah, blah." And
oof.
It was really, it was very sick to me, but...
it's not sick, it's just sort of,
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Crotch, tar.
Don't you think that if you think about it, isn't that kind of natural to like the taste of blood?
Mm-mm.
That's sort of animal something.
Yeah.
People always lick their cuts. And
I always thought the vegan argument was that meat is something we should never be exposed to, that we were never meant to be exposed to.
Listen, if I went down on a chick who was bleeding, I would bite her eventually. I really would. And I'd have to have a beer, and that's like a ball game on, and like have a side of like a baked potato or ranch fries or something. It'd be too bizarre.
Coleslaw.
Yeah, a side of slaw.
So Mercedes, listen.
He's a weird dude.
It is, yeah. What's bothering us is his intention, his preoccupation with this.
If he was,
is not bad. It's not a bad thing.
It's not unhealthy.
No. It adds a little risk for you, in that for him, obviously, any bloodborne problems that you have, he could contract. He's more obviously exposed to that then. But with you, when the cervical os is open, there's more of a potential for things to get up into the upper areas of the genital tract, like the uterus and the fallopian tubes. So should, he upset the flora there or have something on his mouth, it could ascend, but very unlikely. It's more likely to get a genitally transmitted, sexually transmitted disease.
I don't like it when guys raise the bar either. You know what I'm saying? This is like something I'm not willing to do. I don't want to be with a woman whose last boyfriend was willing to jump in. You know what I mean? It makes me look sort of uncommitted.
Less than a man.
Yeah. I think he's kind of screwing things up for everybody.
That's really what's going on right now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm thinking,
you know what? God, that guy's just horrible. He's gross.
He's giving us a bad name, and
that's what it is.
Well, no, not a bad name because he's doing it, but it's because it's kind of thing that. Here's the deal. Orally, it's all right.
It's all right.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's nothing spectacular, but there are guys out there that are fiends for this stuff, and they really then put the burden on guys like myself who could sort of take it or leave it. You see what I'm saying?
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were down there for an hour and a half.
And this guy...
Now I do my usual 3 minutes.
Now, let's do your usual 3 minutes now.
Oh, the commercial?
Yes.
All right.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
All right. Got a letter from the courthouse today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Regarding my car that was destroyed many years ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I got a quick... we'll take a break.
Yeah.
We'll take a little 10-second break, and then when I come back, I just want to deliver a quick message to the folks of the Van Nuys courthouse there. All right. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Loveline in just 10 seconds.
This is Loveline on Radio Station.
Illegal broadcasters.
92.1 KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson.
Thank you. All right, well, hold on a second. I want to say that Shae D'Lyn is here from Dharma and Greg.
Thank you,
ABC,
Adam.
Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. All right, come on, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll pot it down just a little bit, Michael. So I think I'm going to... Well, actually, I'll just build slowly here. I don't feel... I end up yelling at the end of these things, but I never start off that way. And I don't think I'm going to go that way, but I do tend to get going. I got a letter. Anyone who's listened to the show knows I've bitched a time or two about the time I got my car destroyed. I had my car parked out in front of my apartment about 3 years ago. I was talking on the phone, and a guy plowed into the car, and he completely totaled my car.
And you saw it happen?
I was watching. I was on the phone, yeah. And then the guy fled, and then he abandoned his car, and he took off on foot. And they eventually caught him, like, a couple days later.
Oh.
I then had to go into the courthouse of Van Nuys there, sit down while they explained what he did and how much he owed me and all sorts of stuff like that. It turned out he owed me, I don't know, medium blue book for the car. It was like $3,500 or something like that. Well, I never got a penny from him. after about a year of never getting a penny from him, and being treated like dirt, by the way, at the courthouse. And let me explain the policy of the courthouse. It does not distinguish between victims and victimizers, the guilty and the innocent. Here's the deal. You're either in that place or you're at home watching TV, and if you're in, you're dust. You're treated like ass. I don't care if you were the guy who put the dick in the ass or the ass that got the dick put in it. You're effed when you're in the courthouse. Do you understand? You're either on this side of that little wooden railing, or you're on the other side. And the guys on this side are stenographers, court-appointed attorneys, judges, bailiffs, and people like that. And everyone else, the enemy. The reason they had to drag their sorry ass to work is because of you. They could have been doing entertainment law at their brother-in-law's firm and making high six figures a year. Instead, they're making $62,000 and 3 days paid vacation. They're eating out of a vending machine, and they're pissed at you. Now, I would suggest that you're all really crappy at what you do, and that's why you don't get paid that much. But be that as it may, you go in there and you get treated like a victim. And I stood up like dirt. And I stood up a time or two and I said, listen, what's going on? Sit down! And they just started yelling at me. Anyway, we got the whole thing settled, and the guy owed me like $3,500, and I never got a penny from him. And after about a year, I wrote the courthouse, and I called him up. I said, hey, the deal is you're supposed to send $200 into you each month, and you're supposed to send the money to me. Oh, they have no record of it. They don't know what's going on. And I said, listen, here's what I'd like you to do. Pretend like I owed you $5, okay? Because when you get a parking ticket in this crappy city we all live in, they come after you with goddamn helicopters. And believe me, they don't forget about anything. Everything doubles, there's penalties, there's interest, and if you get a parking ticket, and God forbid a year later you try to go in and register your vehicle, do not think that the computer at the DMV is not linked up with the computer that they have at the courthouse, and that they've added an extra $10 on there beside doubling and tripling the fee. But when it comes to people owing you money, there's a monkey in the back with a goddamn abacus. Okay? When you owe them money, they're using the computer at JPL. When some idiot owes you money, there's a caveman smacking on something with a stick. Okay? I want you a-holes to use the same goddamn computer you use when I get a parking ticket on the guy who owes me money. Now, I got a letter today, and the letter said, Dear Mr. Carrito, first off, I don't know if it's affirmative action or what the hell's going on, but can we not fire anybody from this system? How stupid do you have to be? Do you know what I mean? They spelled my name, had like 4 T's in it. I don't know how you can F up that badly, but let me tell you something, everybody. In the private sector, you'd not only be fired, you'd be beaten out in the parking lot. Do you understand? Like, you are so inept and so incompetent that firing wouldn't be enough.
What'd the letter say?
You'd be beaten. It said, like, Mr. Catilla. There's a couple of T's in my name. Yeah. This guy, they now have him. And by the way, even though he has not paid me for 3.5 years, and I said to them, why don't you just go get the guy? Yeah. You know what I mean? Just go show up at his house and go get him. Oh, we can't do that. How come when my buddy Ray had a bunch of parking tickets, the sheriff showed up at his doorstep, his mom answered the door, and they pulled him out in his underpants and threw him in the back of the squad car? You go get Ray, how come you don't go get this guy? Why? Because there's nothing in it for him. He owes me money. He does not owe them money. Right. What is it like? What do we got to do? Cut you guys in? Is that what it's going to take? Do you have to like skim a little off the top? Do we got to grease your palm like we're at a upscale restaurant? We're trying to get a seat. Let me explain something, you idiots involved with the court system and law enforcement and all this in general. And I don't blame the guys out on the street. These guys are busting their ass. They're dodging bullets. They're doing your job. These are the lawmakers. These are the judges. These are the politicians. The court system is in place not is a big fundraising campaign. I know that's what it seems like. I know you can't see any further than this thing looking just like some big telethon, but the reason you're there is to delve out justice and protect the citizens. Citizens that pay tons of money in taxes, and once every 10 years they need you. And you fall flat on your ass, you lazy, pathetic SOBs. So I get this big letter, and it says, Mr. Cotillo, blah, blah, blah. And it says, hey, if you want anything, if you think this guy still owes you money, come in on the 28th and stake your claim kind of thing.
Is he declaring bankruptcy?
I don't know what the guy's doing, but the point is I'm going to be in New York, and I'm not coming in there.
He's declaring bankruptcy.
Here's the deal. Turn on the computer, see what he owes me. That's what I'm declaring. They don't have any record of what he owes me. They don't have any record of how many payments he's made.
It's going to be erased.
Right, because they don't give a rat's ass what happens to you if somebody owes you money. It's only if you owe them money.
I think you're confusing also how encumbered our system has become with bureaucracy with how pathetic the laws are in terms of protecting the villains in our society.
Oh, but here's what I want. I want some credit. Next time I get a $35 parking ticket, just go ahead and pull that off the $3,500 that you have not done anything about.
That's an excellent idea.
Oh, it's a grand idea.
You know what the most pathetic thing about this whole thing is? None of those people are listening to you right now because they're all in bed.
No, they're not in bed.
Yes, but the next generation is listening.
They're all...
and they're going to make the difference.
The next generation of lawmakers.
God bless them.
I got to believe that most of them are involved in some sort of sport that involves a lot of head trauma, because that's the only excuse I can come up with their incompetence. Oh, and they're rude and they're a-holes. Oh, it just makes me sick.
We don't pay them anything. That's
good. They shouldn't. They should get paid less.
If we paid them more,
oh,
we'd get
please, listen.
No, if you fired them, you get smarter people.
Here's the bottom line. Stop raising money. Stop hiring parking enforcement people. Stop worrying about the fundraising and go with the justice route, the court. Remember? You know that blind chick with the scale? Remember her? It's not a sack of money on one side of the scale and like a book of parking enforcement tickets on the other side.
Not actually blind.
She's got that thing on her head.
Yeah, thing around her eyes, yeah.
Hey, bitch, quit playing pin the tail on the donkey and come here and hold this scale.
Let's go. Come on, let's get on with this show.
Is that what happened? Oh, blind.
Feel better?
Yes.
What's going on there?
Hey, I've got a question.
Yeah.
I'm 19 years old. My whole life, well, I guess my whole life, I've been under the impression that my penis was just fine. But in a talk the other day with some of my friends, it came up that during erections or whatever, you got a boner, your penis is pointing towards your belly button, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, mine points pretty much straight out. And I'm wondering if that's a problem. I've had sex one time.
Not a problem, Joel.
Not a problem. Is that regular? Or
that's fine. It's all regular.
Okay, and I have one other thing.
No, hold on. You know, Drew,
what?
be honest.
No, I'm telling you, Adam.
The penis,
I've seen some
as
penises.
you get older...
They're different point directions.
No, I'm aware. I don't think I have been with a couple of penises. Yeah. Penises, it seemed like... All right, now please, just listen.
Gravity
when you're a
it
kid,
yeah.
It goes up more.
Yes,
and as you get older, it tends to go out more.
Yes, gravity will prevail.
Well, also the weight of the penis as you get older.
You keep wishing for that. So the ligament gets weaker.
Are you serious?
You're not...
Gravity will really pull it down? It's not like it's erect all the time, though.
No, but it's not so much gravity as...
Listen, when you're...
Less erect.
When you're 9 years old and you get an erection and you have a penis the size of your pinky, it's more easily lifted. When you have a penis that's the size of your pinky plus a slightly longer nail on it, like mine is in adult form, the weight of it will pull it down a little bit, right, Drew?
Yes, everything goes towards gravity, towards the ground.
Yes.
So you're saying he's prematurely drooping?
No, sticking straight. It's a retarded question. Joel, what's wrong with you? Didn't you go to health class? Your penis sticks straight out? You think it's a problem?
Joel?
My friends are telling me that I'm weird because theirs points... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I'm thinking, oh, darn, what am I going to do, when I go to have sex?
All right, Joel. This is a nice 14-year-old preoccupation. You're too old to be worrying about this kind of thing.
Oh, he's just jagging off. He don't want to talk about it. What am I
it's
gonna
even
do
better. It's
sex?
even better, Joel.
When it sticks straight out?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, depending on what position you're in, but yeah. Elaine.
Yeah.
You're 29.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I got a question. The more I think about it, kind of, I don't know if I agree with it or not, but, see, I've been on drugs for like 10 years, and so this guy I know that was in rehab was telling me that they were telling him that when you start doing drugs, that you kind of like stop maturing.
That's true.
And what I want to know, it is true?
Absolutely.
Okay, what I want to know, see, I got like cotton fever in '96, and I've been trying to stop since then. And like
cocaine dependency, that you're talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
What's cotton fever?
It's like a bacteria that, gets in the, like your rig or whatever, and it gets in your bloodstream. And,
Cotton fever?
Yeah, some say it's really, I've been told that really a piece of cotton gets in there, but others have told me it's bacteria.
You mean you have endocarditis?
No, it only happened once.
All right, anyway.
And,
you mean like when you're cleaning your ear out with a Q-tip and you pull it out and then there's no Q at the end of the tip and then that works its way in your blood system?
I'm not sure, I just know that...
All right.
You don't know what cotton fever.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She'd be willing to guess it's not cotton, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they call it,
You're not going to crap a sweater or anything after a while, all right?
All right. All
right, Elaine.
Anyway, I want to know, okay, if, when you do stop, how long does it take for that, for you to get back to where, your peers are?
Yeah. Good question.
Well, first off, if you're hanging around with addicts, you're there.
No, here's the deal, is that there's two things that happen. One is there's some evidence that your brain actually can shrink or at least not develop and continue to grow in the way it normally would when you're under the influence of certain drugs. So there's that going on. Two, just think about the fact, the way you use these drugs. I mean, the reason you begin using substances is to deal with some unpleasant feelings, to deal with negative affect, to escape the state you're in, as opposed to learning coping strategies and maturing through them such that you can manage them in a way that's more adult-like, more reasonable. You lose the opportunity for that development because you start using drugs as your coping strategy, and you become more and more and more dependent on them as your way of dealing with unpleasant feelings, and you don't develop any alternative strategies. So you've got to go back where you started, whether you started 13 or 15 or 18, dig back into those feelings and start to manage them and cope with them in a real way.
Right.
And then also give your brain a chance to recover.
True?
Yeah.
She's arrested, remember, so she's not going to absorb as much
as
this.
for everybody else. So.
Listen, here's the deal. Don't worry about the brain shrinkage or like it's you're picking off IQ points or anything. You start smoking a lot of pot or doing a bunch of drugs when you're 16. It's not like you've been through Europe or you went to Harvard or Yale. You sit home and you watch Jerry Springer. You don't read, you don't travel, you don't absorb. You just get high and you hang out with a bunch of idiots who just sit and get high too. You don't learn anything because it's sensory deprivation.
Another layer to all this.
So how long it takes you to get back depends on how hard you try and how much effort you put into your education and your therapy. And
yeah, it takes a long time, but you can work through developmental delays and or maturational delays.
Or you do the smart move.
Mm-hmm.
You go get yourself a job at the courthouse. You're immediately labeled a genius.
And you'll never lose your job.
And you'll never lose your job because no matter how rude or incompetent you are, no matter how many T's you put in Carolla, we can't fire you. And by the way, I'm not going on this any longer, but just to say this. Please, everybody understand why communism doesn't work. Because without the free trade system, the free market system, competition, you're effed.
Yeah,
you
but
are
look
effed.
what's happening with the free trade system. It's becoming 3 conglomerates owning everyone and everything.
This as long as there's 2, I don't care. Just as long as they have to compete with each other, I don't care. But when there's only one game in town, that's when you call the DMV like I did 6 months ago. Go, by the way, where's my registration tags? I don't think I got those. Oh, that's right. We sent them to the wrong address. Shut up, Drew. And their answer is, well, come on down and pick them up. And I go, well, why not just give you the address you sent? We can't do that. You come down and get them. Get in line. And I said,
maybe Disney will buy the DMV. No,
but send them to the wrong address. Just send them to the right one. And there's none of that. Well, next year when it comes time to re-register, I'm going across the street. That answer is F you. You need us. We're the only game in town. There's nobody else who'll do it, so F you. And that's why I would kill myself. And that's why, Russia fell apart. Because the whole place turned into a big F you. At least we got 7-Eleven. Ben.
Yes.
You're 35.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Well, let's see. I'm coming up on 4 years, actually, a little more than 3 years. My dad committed suicide.
Oh, boy.
I'm 35, and my mom is 65. And I guess the advice I'm looking for is, you know, she's reasonably active. She's smart, intelligent. I think she's a pretty woman. You know, I think the family members have all sort of dealt with the grieving process as best that we can. But I have a hard time sitting down with her and sort of, you know, talking about the possibility of, you know, her getting herself out there and, you know, getting a companion, meeting another man.
Why did your dad kill himself?
Why did he kill himself? Well,
why do you think?
Okay, well, there are two schools of thought in my family. My mom's version of it is there was a large insurance policy, and they were going through a lot of financial difficulties. And when he killed himself, the insurance policy kicked in, and my mom is taken care of.
I thought those things didn't work when somebody killed themselves.
If you have, like, a policy that's over a X amount of dollars, it will... you have like a 2-year clause or something like that.
Okay, so she's going to kill herself for that, and your notion is?
You know, I mean, it's one of those, you know, like if you were going to take a bet on my father, you know, you and your guests and figure out what happened to him, it'd be A, he was severely abused as a child. His dad died, an alcoholic, literally in downtown Los Angeles, you know, living on the street. He wrapped up his whole personality. Everything that was about my father was about money, about making money. And when his business failed, you know, I know that that was too much for him. He didn't have, you know, as you said just a few moments ago, he didn't have the coping mechanisms in order to deal with that.
Did he abuse you?
You know, living with my dad was like walking on eggshells. That's the best way to describe my childhood. So
yeah. I like that, though. That's what I'm going to do for my kids.
Does your mom want to go out into the world and see other men?
You know, I think she's sort of on the edge, and I think it'd be nice. I mean, like, for example, one time we were at an airport, my brother and I and my mom, and I was about to get on a plane to go back home, and we're sitting in this bar, and this sort of, you know, distinguished-looking older gentleman sat next to her, and they started up a conversation, and my brother and I were, you know, kind of giving him the eye and checking him over, and I said, geez, Mom, you should have asked him for his phone number. And she said, you know, I almost did. So, I don't know, I mean, what do you guys think in terms of...
So that sounds like you're not really having a hard time with it. What makes you think you're having a hard time?
No, I'm not having a hard time with it. What I'm having a hard time with is what to say to her. How to sit down with her.
I don't think you have to really take a day aside and sit down with her. I think you can mention it in passing, and even that you don't have to do.
I mean, that's an uncomfortably caretaking function you're trying to serve. It's intrusive. I think what you can do is offer helpful opportunities. I mean, invite her to things.
Get her like a gigolo?
No, be involved with your life.
Ma, this is Turk.
Whenever you can help her engage, be involved with people, be out just, I mean, like you're out traveling at the airport, you meet people, interact with people. You can help her do that. You're doing a great thing.
Yeah, I'd say encourage her to get involved with life, and things will take over. Get her involved with the groups and things like that.
It sounds pretty good to me.
If you're not responsible, take care of her. He really wants to go in and just, Mom, we're going to talk about how we'll make this work.
Listen, I'm not going to be, by the way, I don't care who does what in my family. I'm not going to be the conduit to get my mom laid. You know, I'm going to start pimping out Mom.
Yeah, I think you have to give your mom a little credit and let her go out there by herself.
I decided a long time ago I didn't want my mom having sex. It was about 10 minutes after I was born. So that's it. Now close your lights,
decided before that.
All right, where the hell are we, Drew?
We're a break.
Yeah, but let's, like, sell something or do something.
Wait to see what other calls come up here.
You don't like any of these?
All right, they're just not good for across the break.
Drew, you work a lot of hours. How's your wife cope?
Want to do that one?
No, that's boring. Chris beat up girlfriend's ex for talking about her. She got expelled. Well, that sounds volatile. It's a fight in school. Somebody got expelled. That's good. That's good. That's good radio.
Good fodder for entertainment.
That's right. All right, we'll be back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why?
You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, I'll be right back.
This is Donny Osmond, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Thank you.
Yeah, the stress of being a poor person is part of the reason you flee something.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you were a poor person.
I was always poor. I didn't do a lot of fleeing.
Did you ever steal anything?
No.
You did a lot of avoiding the law, though.
Stole a few hearts, from the ladies.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I was sitting home whacking off. That's right. I was thinking of something else.
I
was thinking Adrian's mad. That's right. Damn it. Let's get confused. With
Always Adrian me. Adrian me.
With the puffy hair. Shae D'Lyn is here. Darman Gregg is the name of the show she stars in, ABC, Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. It's funny. Drew said one of the few funny things I've heard him say in many a year during the commercial. Naturally, wouldn't be on air, but Shae was talking about herbs, and people talk about herbs on this show. Drew and I basically, all the herb and all this sort of alternative medicine, for the most part, nonsense. But Drew says, it's funny that we use China and India as examples of healing, because these places are dumps and disasters, basically. They really are.
You got to admit, though, they've got the population thing going.
Yeah.
Well, but the fact that their health has been so poor for all the years they've had this alternative medicine, it's contained their population.
Right.
Otherwise, it'd be 50 billion in both countries now. It's now that decent health care is coming in, their population's exploding.
People always try to pass that crap. I was like, hey, the wisdom of India, the Dalai Lama, and well, not the Dalai Lama, but
he actually has some wisdom.
This culture and everything like that. It's like, wait a minute, don't guys walk down the street in a big puddle of feces in that country? You know what I mean?
And then they sell the feces to us in the form of herbs.
This place is a dump. What the hell are we listening to them for? Yeah, China's not a whole lot better. Listen, screw these people. We know what we're doing over here. These people, what is the, I don't know what the hell's wrong with my mind today, but what is the medicine where they take a little dust from one of the active ingredients and then
homeopathy?
Homeopathy. This stuff is worthless crap. Listen, all you nutballs out there that are in this homeopathic medicine, please. You've brainwashed yourself. That's the only way it works. The placebo effect. I had a horrible.
But that's a huge thing. Now, don't belittle that.
Yeah.
I'm not, but it doesn't work for me because
you don't believe in anything.
Yeah. I had this sore throat once. It was so bad, I swear I was going to die. I was going to have to get a tracheotomy. My throat was so screwed up. My girlfriend went out to go get me some stuff. She goes down to Venice. She gets the homeopathic crap. She comes back. Oh, look, this is a guy took one of a medicine with the active ingredient, and then he farted into a jar, and then they put these sugar pills next to the jar. And then I'm like, are you nuts? I took a bottle of this stuff. 3 hours later, I was ready to kill myself. I said, go down to the goddamn Vons and get me something with some booze in it and bring it back and make sure it's purple.
It tastes like cherry.
And whatever.
And you believe in that stuff.
Hell
so
yes.
That
take that and it works fine. Please.
Purple juice.
All right. Where are we, Drew? How's going on?
Chris.
Pick a number.
Chris.
Yeah.
You're 16.
Yep. I was going to say, Adam Drew, offspring doesn't know what they're talking about, man. You rock.
Yeah. Screw those guys. Call me an a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Drew, man, you must be psychic. You hit everything right on the head.
Thanks.
All right. Well, look here. The problem is I'll give you the down low first. I was at school, and my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend was putting around a lot of rumors about my girlfriend. So I confronted him about it, and he was acting all apologetic to me and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I started walking away. His friend comes up to me and starts talking to me. I'm about to be late for class. I turn around, and all of a sudden somebody hits me from behind.
Uh-oh.
I turn around. Me and him start arguing again. His friend hits me from behind. I turn around. I hit his friend. His friend takes off running. Then I jump on my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, and
start humping him.
Huh?
No. Go ahead.
All right.
Like your baseball bat story.
Oh, I rammed his head into the locker supposedly. And he's on the ground, and he's still yelling all that stuff, calling my girlfriend a bunch of names. I told him to shut up. He wouldn't shut up, so I hit him once more. The Pep Bros came over there, and they broke up the fight. They brought us down to the dean's office, and I was expelled. He was expelled. Mm-hmm. But what the Pep Bros told me is that he was saying that my girlfriend was instigating the fight, so she was also expelled.
Hold on a second, Chris. We're not sure what Pep Rolls are.
Pep bros are like, they're informal security guards.
Okay, what do you call them?
Pep bros.
Pep bros?
Yeah, paraprofessionals.
Paraprofessionals?
Yeah.
Parapros.
They're uncertified security guards. It's like you can go there.
Parapros.
Yeah, you can go there, you give them a resume, and you can become a Pep pro.
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen.
Where are you calling from?
Chicago.
Yeah, we don't have parapros out here.
All right.
Now, was your girlfriend present during this?
We got people that can't be employed in other jobs being security guards out here.
And is her name Guinevere?
Well,
here's the funny part. Hold on, Chris. I can tell you right now that, the guy, he was walking away, didn't want any trouble, and the guy came up behind him and cold-cocked him in the back of the head. I can see the principal looking at his chart saying, Chris, this is the 9th time this month someone hit you in the back of the head while you were walking away.
Right.
The first 4 times we were kind of with you.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to think maybe you're playing a role.
And I think the girlfriend must have a record quite,
she dated both these guys, yeah. Chris?
Yeah.
Have you gotten into trouble before?
Not that much. I got into one fight freshman year. One fight freshman year.
Still a freshman?
Yeah. No, I'm a junior now.
All right.
No, I made it through freshman year.
All right, so what is your question? So they suspended you for how long? Or you got expelled?
Yeah, I'm expelled. But my girlfriend, one of the security guards there, Pep bros.
The Pep bros.
Yeah, he came out and he told me that the other guy, that her ex-boyfriend was saying that she was instigating the fight. However, she was before I started the fight, she was telling me not to, that it was going to end up in a fight.
So she was present during all this.
Yeah, she was, and then when the fight started, she was out there screaming, trying to break us up and such. So they were saying that she was instigating at that time. I mean, there was other witnesses that were there that were saying that she wasn't. But
well, hold on, Chris. What do you want us to do? Write the principal a letter?
Yeah. Do you have
reinstated?
Is there any due process you can turn to? Any?
I have no. That's why I don't really have much of an idea. I was calling you guys.
I don't know how your school functions.
Do you really want to get back into this school?
Not me. I was trying to get my girlfriend back. I know I'm expelled because they said I used excessive force. Which, I mean, it's like I'm stuck. I know I'm stuck for fighting, period.
Right.
But my girlfriend, just by his word and instigation, too. It's like, that's like the big thing. I don't know if somebody be expelled for instigating.
Think about it. They're 16 and
what purpose does it serve to kick people out of school?
I don't know.
It's so horrible.
And by the way, I'm pissed if I'm the school where Mr. Excessive Force is sitting behind me in my next class. Hey, hey, how you doing? What'd you do? Move? No, beat the ass out of some guy. Put his head through a locker. Oh, that's nice. How you doing? Great.
I don't know. Tough questions.
Well, there must be some appeal process, and we don't. We're not tied up with the Chicago Unified.
Look it up. I don't know what to say.
I mean,
I don't. School discipline is a weird thing because school is. Here's the thing: when you go to school, the thing you don't like about school is going to school, not staying home. Generally, like I got suspended. It's like, well, what's happened to me? I got to stay home for 3 days. I got to watch TV and whack off for 3 days. Yeah. Okay. You can't stretch it out to 4? What I did was pretty heinous. No, 3 days. Okay.
But yeah, I think the schools have to have...
It's going to be on your record. Oh, the one they look at when I go into the carpet cleaning gig about a year and a half from now, working for Art Fuss over at A&B Carpet Cleaning with Everlast, the serial killer in a van.
In this business, they scour your record, I've noticed.
The thing that's funny is my jobs in life have been carpet cleaning, construction, boxing instructor, radio guy, and TV guy. None of which anyone has ever wanted to look into any education or any background. I could have just been paroled,
but you
and they
yourself
all would have
was saying
taken me.
How horrible it was to be the construction worker.
No, it sucked.
So if this person doesn't have any radio or TV guy in his future, I think he better go back to school.
Oh, completely agree. And I do think that the consequences need to be sort of doled out in a very uniform way in schools, but I agree with expulsion. I understand.
Yeah. Expulsion doesn't really
not
serve
without
society very well.
Not without a real plan. Like you're expelled from this school, and here's where you're gonna go.
Tough sell when you're beating some guy's head into a locker when the fight gets broken up, and your claim is I was walking away and the guy jumped on me. Yeah. Sean.
Yes.
Hey, you're 36.
Yep. I had 2 questions, kind of. One was, I've been listening to the show since Ricky Rackman was on, and I've overheard you guys mention some of the history, but I was wondering if you guys would give some more history of the show. And then the other question about me is I'm a chef, and I work a lot of hours, and it causes tension between me and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Dr. Drew works a lot of hours, and I was wondering how he and his wife deal with it.
Well, he makes a lot of money, so she shuts up. You, on the other hand, bring home some hollandaise sauce once a week does not cover it.
Also, she is used to this. I mean, she's been with me since I was a resident. And there have been worse periods in my life than now. I mean, there were times when she would be constantly on me about never being home, and I would be never home. I mean, for months. I would get home at 11 o'clock at night, and I would leave at 5:30 in the morning, and that was life.
Yeah.
Now that we have kids and all, I sort of, she has actually helped me prioritize and make choices such that I have adequate time to spend with her and with the kids. And we still have to work at it all the time. It's a constant balance in life. If you're a busy person, you have to work as hard at balance as you do at working hard.
Yeah, you know what kind of sucks, too, is not all women, but most women, sort of more by nature, tend to be less okay with their mate being away, whereas men are much easier about that. Doesn't seem to bother them, and it's ironic that they're at home while you're away because they're the one who has a problem with it. You wouldn't be men in general, but not all men. But listen, my girlfriend went out of town last weekend. She went with a couple of friends' wives, which left just me and the guys. We couldn't have been happier. I swear to God, I hope she's not listening. But
the women I know don't mind at all when their men go out of town. On the other hand,
hang out with a lot of lesbians.
I know a lot of women who would rather that their men work more hours.
Well, that's another problem.
That's a different issue.
That's a different issue.
Yeah.
But in general,
women have a much better instinct for creating stable relationships, and they have an internal barometer of what relationships need in terms of time and intimacy, and some of that reflects down to being a proper parent too. And I have to rely on my wife's internal instincts to know when I'm appropriately spending time, because men, you're pretty clueless about that.
Yeah.
And
I have the same problem with myself. I feel like I'm sort of an obsessive working person, whether it be on the house or with my acting or whatever. And so I have to be reminded periodically that there is a necessity for leisure time and relationship time. Do you enjoy your chefdom?
Oh, yeah, I do. I love it a lot. And that's part of the problem.
That's the problem.
That I get engrossed in my work, and I lose sight of could be anything outside of that.
Right.
And so then I have to, kind of be shocked back into reality. and that's part of my question, too, is how do you deal with, Dr. Drew, you said that it was worse. How do you deal with those feelings? Because, the feelings come up as like, oh, I made a mistake. I'm not being a good husband. And
how do you deal with the shame of being not less than perfect?
Yeah.
You deal with it.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with, but you deal with it.
And you're not less than perfect. You just have a different take on it.
You're working. You're not boozing and whoring Drew. You're working.
But do you understand? I was amplifying that because that's his personality structure. That's the deal. He's got to be perfect in all spheres. And when he falls short of that, he feels ashamed and exposed and whatnot.
I can understand.
He has to be he has to take care of himself, and he has to create balance and create adequate time. And these feelings will be much more easily tolerable and less likely to occur.
Got to schedule sex there.
My real problem in relationships is I don't like to work, and I like to be left alone when I'm at home. You know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't doing anything.
Right.
I don't even have an excuse. I just come home and want to be left alone. Oh, that's bad. I am so bad.
You can feel guilty, Adam.
Oh, I should. I was sitting in the shrink's office on Monday night, and I just looked at him and I said, I swear to God, I'm like a serial killer in relationships. I just have
Does everyone
no
in Los
remorse.
Angeles go to therapy?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think we all
do. They don't. Only the people that don't really need it that much.
No one at the courthouse is going to therapy. I'm
please.
Serial killer.
I like people to leave me alone.
Yeah.
I go home. I want no one to be there. I can't help it. It's weird. You know what I mean? I don't look forward to it. I mean, I like my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend, but I come home. She goes out of town for the weekend. I couldn't be happier. And I'm not doing a thing. I'm just sitting home watching TV.
You don't think there's anything that doesn't mean anything?
It ain't good. It's not good, but it doesn't have anything to do with my girlfriend, pro or con.
Right.
I could get that way with anybody almost immediately. You know what I mean?
Do you like yourself better than you like other people?
No.
I don't like myself, but I don't like them either.
Drew sees a problem. I'm like, you're perfectly fine, Adam.
Yeah, Drew, what is that? I'm not that in love with myself. I got to tell you, I don't want the pressure of people around. You know what I'm saying?
I try not to think about you that way, so don't make me go there.
What do you mean?
If I start thinking,
as a serial killer?
Yeah, if I start thinking through what's going on with you, I may check out.
But Drew, my instinct is I'd like people to leave me alone.
Yes, but you have an attachment problem too. I mean, you.
Right, I don't get attached.
Right.
Because I want to be left alone.
Yeah, there's something up there. I don't know.
Like, I'll put it this way, and Drew, you have this too.
Yeah.
If somebody's getting married, like someone we work with on the TV show or something's getting married,
right,
and they don't give us an invitation, we couldn't be happier.
Yes, right.
We really couldn't be happier. Even if we liked them, we couldn't be happier.
Well, you're very busy people.
Even if I'm not busy, I'll sit home. It's more time watching TV. When other people get upset, they feel snubbed. I wasn't invited.
Right.
What is this? It's an outrage. Wait till I get married. I'm not going to invite them. Me? Couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Just could not be happier that I wasn't invited. I don't want to go to their marriage. I don't want to leave the house. Now, when I go, I'll probably end up having a good time.
Sure.
But I don't want to be invited. I don't want to go.
Right.
I'll stay home.
Yeah. That's different.
That's different?
That's not about intimacy, though.
Oh, it isn't?
This other thing is about intimacy.
Yeah.
Were you abandoned?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I wasn't thrown in a dumpster.
You were emotionally abandoned, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah, so you don't want to get...
I'm a good guy. Come on.
You don't want to get in because you don't want to get lost in it. You don't want to lose it again.
Yeah, but I'm in, I just... what? I don't know. We
need to take another plane trip and talk about these things.
I like me time,
I know.
You understand? I woke up from a nap today. I hung out,
Let's go to break.
Alone.
I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay. I'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Everybody now.
Loveline will be right back. KFMA.
Aloha. This is Don Ho, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Drew. Mahalo.
I think John smokes a lot of weed. Were you talking to him about that?
Yeah, he smoked a lot that he grew a lot of weed. He admitted that, too.
Well, he didn't really admit it, but I said, hey, Don, you live in Hawaii. A lot of people grow a lot of weed in Hawaii. You live on 40,000 acres up on somewhere.
Of course, basically.
And I said, would you shut up, Drew? I said, you grow any weed on the property? And he goes... All right, Don. You have this language where you don't really have any words that mean anything, and then you have one that means 300 things. So a laugh means probably 35 things. All right. Hey, Dickie from the Boston's called me today.
No way.
Yeah.
From Boston or from out here?
From Boston.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. I talked to him for about 10 seconds, and then he said, I got to move my car. No, I called him back. He called me like 3 days ago, and I called him back today, and he was real excited. Hey, what's going on? All right. I got to move my car. All right. He goes,
it really is the perfect relationship, isn't it? You just enjoy the greeting.
I'll call you next week.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's funny. I go, hey, I'm talking to Dickie from the Boston's, and he thinks I'm talking to Adam from Loveline. And after we're done with that, about 8 seconds into it, now there's nothing to talk about. I'm going to move my car. He's going to move his car. What's going on with that car?
I wish more people would do that to me. Hi, got to move my car.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, boy.
Cool. Kevin.
Yeah.
There we go.
What's going on there? You're 25.
25.
Yeah, what's up?
I had a problem here. By the way, Adam, you guys are great. I was hoping you guys can help me out.
All right.
About 2 weeks ago, me and one of my buddies, Bill, went on vacation. We were down south. And I always kind of, I think I say, want to experiment with the bisexual, to kind of see what it was like. Well, I tried on my friend. It was best friends for like 18 years now. And he woke up during it.
Oh, is that Tears for Fears in the background there?
No, it's whatever's on the radio station.
Well, turn it up. Let's see. I want to hear what's going on. that's the bare naked ladies.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin,
turn down now.
You started to engage in oral sex in somebody who was a friend of yours since you were 7 years old while he was asleep.
No. We've been friends for 18 years.
Excuse me, 18, not 17 years. While he was asleep?
You said you've known since you were 7. You said, didn't you?
No.
All right.
I nothing about that. I was kind of, like I said, I was kind of curious about that, and then finally I tried, and
yeah, how was it?
Actually, it wasn't even all there. It was just starting.
Yeah.
And like I said, right now, the way it is, I mean.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I'm done. Kevin, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're on hold for a half hour, but you got to articulate. I'm 25. I gave oral sex to a friend of mine of 17 years.
He woke up when I was getting into it.
He woke up. Now, Drew says, you've been friends with this guy since you were 7 years old. He says, no, it's been 17 years. But if you're 25 and you kind of do the math there, you're about right. I couldn't get anywhere with him. Could you?
No.
You know what my new policy is? For everyone, let's just move on. I can't go back and sort through everyone's garbage. Everyone, listen, you have to articulate yourself. You have to ask your damn question. You have to get right to it. Don't argue with Drew. That's it. Don't blow into your buddies. That's what I'm saying. That's my message. While they're asleep. Wait for them to wake up. And it's good. You do what I do. You put a flower right in their mouth when you're doing it. You reach up and you put a flower in their mouth. You know what I'm saying?
But don't feel too bad.
Oh, man.
Nicole.
I'm here. Nice.
You're 15.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Just want to say you guys are really great, and I listen to you like every night. But I'm having kind of a big problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see how I can say this. I messed around with one of my friends.
Male friends?
Huh?
Male friends? Female friends?
Yeah. And he had a girlfriend.
Did she answer that?
Male.
Male.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend was one of my best friends.
Oh, boy.
And she never found out about this till about last week. And I have a boyfriend also. And
what does messed around mean to you, by the way?
Oh, we I don't know. I spent the night at his house. We slept in his bed together.
You had sex?
No, not that far.
He's how old? He's how old?
He's almost 16.
All right, go ahead.
And it's just, I just told my boyfriend tonight.
Yeah.
And he's really upset, and he doesn't really want to talk to me right now. And everyone at school knows.
Yeah.
And it's just, everyone knows, and everyone's like spreading rumors,
What rumors?
Oh, they're just making up all this.
Well, they're just getting into your business.
How much they got to make up?
You and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
All right, so Nicole, all right. Obviously, you wanted out of your relationship, or you wouldn't have done it, and you wouldn't have told your boyfriend, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so you're done. Some people just say they're done. Other people just do something horrible and then tell the person and force them to get out of the relationship. But that's the route you want, and that's my MO, too, except for I don't do anything horrible. I just sit around until they leave. Nicole?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
That's okay at 15. It's hard to let those first relationships go.
What do you mean? She wanted to get rid of the guy, so she went out and screwed around with the other guy.
It's okay that she wants to get out of it. And
she doesn't care. She's done. She's more freaked out about the people at school.
Yeah.
She doesn't miss the guy.
No.
Yeah. She wouldn't have told him.
Right, and why is it that the people at school are so upset?
Oh, they're not.
As if they didn't do anything.
Oh, people love to get into other people's stuff.
Listen, everybody. The people that think they care, they don't. They just don't.
Fast forward 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, fast forward 3 weeks.
Nicole who?
But don't worry. That turret will pivot around and they'll get some other poor victim in their crosshairs.
They're on something else.
And by the way, when you do kind of screw around stuff and talk about it real loud, this is what happens, especially 15.
You're creating something for people to talk about, so be glorious.
You get older.
Have nothing else to do.
People love public executions.
Right. When they get cars and booze, they settle down. They're worried about their own ass a little more. All right, Joe, let's talk to someone who's been on hold for just a little while. Corey.
Yeah.
You're 13.
Yeah. Lately I've been having trouble with my sexuality, kind of.
Yeah.
And my dad moved away.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean trouble with your sexuality?
I don't know who I have feelings for.
Know that everybody 13 goes through some version of that, okay?
Right,
Okay.
except for me.
It's not like they ever explain it in school or everything. It's just like pretty much you're supposed to...
Did anybody monkey around with you when you were little?
No.
No fiddling?
Nope.
No diddling?
That's usually the question Drew asks.
Well, Adam's learned. No peer.
Learn,
Got it down, huh?
No peer has done that. No adult did anything weird to you.
You're just young and confused.
Okay. I'm also on 125 mgs of Zoloft.
All right.
Antidepressant.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Here's the message we would give you is just cool out. Don't do anything. Don't take any action based on this confusion. Before you start exploring who you are in a relationship, get some clarity about who you are.
Yeah. And listen, I just want to say this real quick. I don't want to sound like any of your parents or even grandparents. I know that's Drew's role. I want to sound like your pissed off drunken uncle or neighbor. The guy comes over with like a sprinkler key in his underpants saying he's going to kill the dog. The goddamn thing don't quit barking. I didn't want to get into what I was going to do to my neighbor's dog this morning with my pellet gun. But anyway, the point is, this mangy little mutts. The point is when you're confused and you start acting out, it does not clear anything up.
Makes more confusion.
It's like if you're driving and you don't know where you're going and you speed up.
Right.
Pull over.
The car's out of control.
That's fine, but don't speed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll all become clear.
That's right, about 30 years. We'll be back.
All right. Okay. The phone number for Loveline KFMA.
Yeah. All right. Shae D'Lyn.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Shae's mom. Dharma and Greg, ABC, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Watch that show. Cake will be in here tomorrow night, and then Rob Schneider will be in here on Thursday night. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew. Thanks for coming in, Shae. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please listen to this station longer.